Hey, welcome everybody. This is Bitcoin Louie, and shortly we're gonna have Fazri on call. I just wanted to do a quick check to see if chat is able to hear me. Yeah, I see Trislight, Mark Aleli, Ryan, what's up, man? Harley S. So let's do this. Let's do a quick roll call. I just want to see if you guys can hear me and what the sync delay is. Go ahead and post something fun like what time zone or is it? What time is it for you right now? Let's get an idea of what time zones we have. So it's 11:30 a.m. over here in Los Angeles. Welcome, Geeky River. You can't hear me. Oh, I can hear you. Okay, cool. Alright, so looks good so far. 2:30, 1:30. I'm gonna get this started. Let me move over. We are gonna bring in Fazri. Hey Fazri, how you doing? Let's see. Might be muted still.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, there we are. What's up, guys? Everybody say hello. Can we turn the volume up on our end? Let me see what I can do.
You want to? Is my mic too quiet?
I personally feel like it's pretty loud. They can hear you just fine. How about me? Maybe I can speak up a little bit. Music's a little loud. Okay, I'll lower the music. Ah, interesting. It's at level 1. Louis a tad low. Oh, I'll speak up a little bit too. It should sound better now.
Oh wow, we got like 50 people on the stream.
Awesome, nice.
Hey, good times.
So
all right, everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah, just wanted to welcome everybody to the CSC Dev Q&A session. My voice might be lowered in order to let Fazri's voice kind of, sound good. I think it does some kind of compression, so I will speak up though. Give us the knowledge they ask.
Alrighty. Well, first off, I just want to thank everyone absolutely for your support of both the game, on Discord, being active, helping new users, purchasing our crates. Everything you guys do really reinforces to us that this is a game that we're so happy to pursue and grow and make better. And both our company, our senior management, our investors love the fanaticism, love your fandom, and we can't wait to release some of the stuff we have coming down the pipe for you guys. So just a heartfelt thank you from everyone here at Lucid Sight for all of you guys' support and continued support as we continue to grow and get this game out. So I just wanted to start the stream off with that because sometimes I think we underappreciate like just how amazing this is. You know, we are a relatively small indie studio, and CSC has been making some amazing strides and has such an amazing community group. So again, thank you everyone.
Awesome, yeah. Definitely feel the same way. I've been kicking it with you guys over in chat. You guys have been awesome, very helpful. We've got tons of third-party tools being created. We've got some awesome mods cleaning the Discord up every day. We've got some cool guilds being built up. Like, this is some awesome stuff. Yeah.
I just love the Ferengi Alliance. Just a shout out. Also Dark Horizon and the Board Collective. I'm not sure, is that actually a guild though? Anyone from the Board Collective in here? I have my chat open, so I'll take a look and see. So while we get through on that, so I'm going to start this Dev Q&A off. It's been like several months since we did one of these. We're going to first shoot to have one of these twice a month. So we'll do a live stream, answer some questions, give you guys an update face-to-face at least twice a month, or at least attempt to do it twice a month. We'll let you know when the next date is, once Louis gets his hands around how we're going to set this up, what the format's going to be, and we'll do giveaways and prizes for these as well. So that's number 1. Wow, we're up to 66. That's amazing.
Nice.
Lou, do you have a count on the other streams? Because I'm just looking at DLive right now.
I see 65 total. And we've got 3 people watching on Twitter as well. 62
Cool.
on DLive.
Nice. All right. So we'll start off with our developer update. So we have a minor patch coming this week that actually has some interesting feature adds. So primarily we looked at network synchronization. We saw a lot of problems with it in the last few patches. I think we've locked it down. We are also going to be exposing the user count per system. And then we're going to be exposing the user channel. So this is an interesting feature. CSC's MMO architecture works very similar to something like Destiny, where we are constantly moving users in and out of groups. And the group you're in depends on your proximity to the user and the total count of users on the server. And as the game grows and we establish better and better hardware in the cloud to support it, we'll be able to support larger and larger groups. Right now, an individual group of users that could fly together is hard set for 50, but that's a flexible number on our end. So about 50 users can be together in a group and synchronously see each other at the same time within a fixed proximity. So what happens is if you start off at the Venus station and then you fly to Mars, you might be in group 1. And there might be 15 players in group 1. But you fly to Mars and then you might run into Crypto Joe and Coco Bear messing up some NPCs out there. Well, when you do that and you come within proximity of them, you go from group 1 to maybe group 2. And that group 2 only has 3 users. And then you get clustered with those 3 users, and the network information that you get are just for them. This is what helps us optimize and run basically an MMO at scale without having to have everyone's user persistent information constantly traveling between every client. It's actually a really interesting system one of our engineers came up with, and it's working really well so far. But we're basically, roundabout way of saying, we're exposing some of those values so you can see which user group you're in, how many users are in the group, and how many users are in the system total. And this will help you guys communicate to us when there's issues like you don't see another ship. So that's one of the big adds that are coming in this next feature update, or the next minor update. Other thing that's coming is we've added a lot of new star systems and new belts. I think the count is up to 10 right now, with more coming every day. So our design team right now is kind of skeletoning out the star systems to come. They're based off MEA, so anyone who played our pre-alpha, those systems are coming in. The resource quantities, the resource rates, the resource types will mirror what you learned in MEA, so pull out those old spreadsheets, remember what you found and where you found it. This is how you're going to find new resources moving forward in those systems. Along with that, I think we have about 50 systems slated to come online within the next month. Not all these systems will have jump gates, so get those FTL mods out. You're going to need them, or else you're going to be spending quite a bit of time flying between locations. So a few of these systems will be coming online by the end of the week for our upcoming event. Next thing, drop and pickup. So this is a really exciting feature. It's something that we had in earlier versions of the game. We pulled it back because we saw some exploits and bugs we had to fix, and now it is coming back in this next minor update. So drop and pickup is quite interesting. First of all, to drop an item into space, it could be anything from a fungible token, non-fungible token, CSC items currently, and resources raw or refined. If you're dropping an NFT and it's checked out, it will not let you drop that item. So you'll get a dialog box will pop up saying you cannot drop a checked out item. The reason for this is since it's checked out, ownership is directly controlled by you. We're not going to allow in-game trading of those items as they need to be done through blockchain transactions. However, if you check in an item, you're going to be able to drop it. It'll appear in a crate for everyone around, and it'll live there persistently for approximately, I think the timer is now set for 3 hours. After 3 hours, it gets wiped and dropped into an admin bucket. So please don't leave items out there. You will lose them. But another user could come, pick it up, and the ownership will change on Scarcity Engine, which is our virtual abstraction layer on top of blockchain. And that will be a true ownership transfer. It will now belong to that individual. It will show up on their website inventory. They can check it out. They can mint it. They can do whatever they want to it. So this will be our first method of transferring items between users. It's a little bit convoluted because you have to fly in space, find a safe area, drop, and have another user pick up. But this is going to allow us to slow roll this feature out, make sure there aren't any exploits or bugs or anything that could hurt the economy. As this hardens, we'll introduce an in-game mail system that will allow you to leave packages at stations for users to pick up and claim. And eventually, with the marketplace implementation, there will be a full trading system where you can trade for specific items, resources, quantities, or just trade among friends. Shared inventories, clan inventories, we'll talk about that when we get into the Q&A. A lot of that's on our roadmap, and we'll get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
That's really cool.
Next thing. Starter packs. They will be going live today, so users will be able to purchase them. The free starter packs for what users have paid for already. Those will possibly process today or tomorrow, but it could fall into next week. We just want to do a little bit more testing before I hit the button and it gets all distributed, and just to make sure no one's getting double or triple packs. That said, new users coming in will have a low price point they could enter at. Current users will get starter packs credited as we described before based on the quantity you purchased so far. Just to go over that again, if you've spent at least $10 in Ethereum or GFC, you will receive one founder starter pack. If you spend a total of $30 or a total of $40, you'd get both the founders and the next level up, the explorer starter pack. And then if you spent a total of $100 or more, you'll get founders, explorers, and adventurer starter pack. These starter packs each come with a ship. One comes with an Intrepid, and then the other two come with a Corsair. They're highly nerfed, so their stats are far below even an MP ship, but we balanced them out to the point where it'll give a great starting point for a new user to come in. New users will be able to mine, fly with you, even take part in some combat, but they're not going to be able to solo well, and that ship will quickly feel constrained for them. And our goal here is, with the starter packs, as we go live on Steam, as we get more users coming in, we'll get more people into our ecosystem, get more people testing and helping us solidify this build, and eventually build up this user base, which in the end will build up our user economy. I'm just going to take a second here and take a look at the chat, see if there's any questions so far. No, just a lot of memes, eyebrow guys, dancing pandas. I don't know what that is. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Next, okay, 0.6. So 0.6 is going to be our next feature release. And, we've taken the stance now, and we've learned our lesson from the past, and as most game development studios do, we aren't giving hard dates for feature releases because really they're ready when they're ready. Team works tirelessly on it, and actually for the last few months, we've worked pretty much late every night, purely out of love and passion for this game, and really to deliver you guys something exciting. We were completely taken aback by the amount of streaming that's happened with our current alpha, the amount of enjoyment you guys are having with the features we've released, and we can't wait to get more stuff to you guys. So in 0.6, most likely the feature that we're going to release is going to be refining and ore persistence, with marketplace shortly following. Refining and ore persistence do have a few more edge cases we come across in testing that we're taking care of, but it could be within a few weeks or less before we have that ready in a place where we can go live on 0.6.
If I could do a quick shout out to all the D-Live streamers, we've been jumping in on some of these streams. Yes. I've been enjoying the streams a lot. I try to get into one at least once a day. We try to do some little surprise drops every now and then. I know some of you viewers have come up on some crates. One of you has won a Breeze MP ship just by being in this chat. So not only are they informative, you guys get to watch.
Someone screenshot the top of the front page. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Yeah,
that's amazing. That's awesome. I want to do this. There.
Why I love these streams though is we get a lot of questions in Discord about like, how do I get started? The blog didn't really explain this 100% to me, but now you get to watch a live streamer ask them questions. Can you do these steps over for me? And they're more than willing to. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys for helping us like that so much.
Absolutely. I mean, the streaming community that's come behind this game has been absolutely phenomenal. Shout out to all you guys. I watch your streams daily. I watch your streams on the weekend. I enjoy coming in and giving you guys a few adjustments while you're playing to see how things work out. It's been invaluable to us from testing. It's been amazing for us to have this resource to go back and watch past streams and see where the bugs occurred or where we can make modifications. This is absolutely one of the most amazing game development experiences I've ever had in my career. And it's been one of the most open ones too, which is really different from most ways games are developed today. So again, shout out to all you guys there. A few more things in my update here. CSC soundtrack. So it'll be probably still a couple weeks, but we have them being submitted to both Spotify and YouTube. So you'll have the entire soundtrack of CSC available to listen to wherever you'd like, however you'd like, enjoy. That's it for the development updates. For the event updates, so we have Mining Challenge coming up. This is going to be a whole new method of how we're going to be doing the event. Details will come out tomorrow, but there's going to be a ton of new systems. There's going to be both individual and group prizes, so clans and small groups of users can combine together for certain rewards. We're trying to work on a faster way of showing results so people can keep track of progress as we go along. But this will be a week-long event and many, many prizes to give out and some hidden secrets to find. So this is going to be exciting. Nice. Let's see here. All resources, by the way, will be cleared on Friday. So anyone who has resources currently, say bye to it, will be gone for this mining event so we can get an accurate count. Let's see here. Okay. Last big detail here for my development updates, Steam release. So we've been talking with Steam and we've been talking to you guys in the community, and I think most likely we'll be going live on Steam as an early access title, kind of in a soft launch phase in the next few weeks. There's a couple reasons for this, but primarily Steam has a lot of new features that we want to take advantage of when it comes to promoting games. And one of these new features includes featuring and re-promotion on feature updates and events. So every event that we have, we're going to be able to capitalize on broadcasting that through Steam and getting a additional feature placement, like if we have a weekend mining event or we have an NPC battle event or some other exciting events we have coming up, Star Trek. All these events will help us gain a little bit more visibility. Our biggest concern coming with Steam actually is scalability. You guys have shown amazing amounts. We've seen, I think within the first 3 weeks of game launch, was over 1,000 new players that came in. We had servers maxing out in the early days. Now we're switching all our servers to use a professional server host. They host games like Apex. They'll be managing our infrastructure moving forward within a week or two, and that should help us scale automatically as the game grows. But just bear in mind, originally we were hoping to be more close to 1.0 before going on Steam, but I think it's very likely we'll be on Steam at 0.5 or 0.6. And this will be great. This will be a great, easy way for users to get into the game. It'll be a great way for you guys to use your Steam dollars that you already have if you want to purchase currency or packs. So last big development update there. I think that's all I had coming for this, so we can get right into the Q&A. Louis, anything else?
I was just reading over the chats. One question that I saw was, will people be able to gift the starter packs?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
This exciting new feature you'll see when you get the client. Starter packs and crates will actually now show up in station inventory. You could actually load them onto ships. You could actually drop them in space if you'd like. Other users can pick them up. You'll have a blast with that.
Awesome. Just gonna keep reading. I'll let you know if I find any more interesting chat.
Oh wow! So Diamond, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. I didn't realize people have been donating currency to us. Oh, two ninja Ninjinis.
Wow! What?
Yeah.
I'm
What's
sorry,
going
guys.
on here?
I did not have notifications set up. I will work on that for
That's
the next one.
amazing. Thanks, Coco Bear. Thanks, Ryan. We're just going to take that around. We're going to pay it forward to our streamers. All that will go right back to you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you supporting the game. That's amazing. Great. Sorry. Go ahead, Lou. You had another question?
No. I'm just letting you know. I'll keep an eye on chat if I see any
Cool.
interesting questions.
All right. So then I think we'll go straight into the questions here. So I'm going to jump around on the questions we got submitted, and then we'll take some live questions from the chats. So first question I want to tackle here. Oh, this was my favorite one because I laughed when I read it. Any details on the royalty system? Does it still exist? And this is from the Dark Horizon Guild. Yes, so it still does exist. The royalty system has been an interesting one. It's actually kind of part of one of the many reasons Marketplace has been in flux. We've been talking about a marketplace since last year, and as we keep hitting iterations, we keep realizing limitations, and we've restarted a couple times. This most recent iteration has been solid. We love it. It will have these features, but one thing I really kind of want to touch on the royalty system is initially and for regular items, and I think this answers another question as well, the royalty system really is going to be a race to the bottom because you're going to be competing against everyone else. If I'm making a T1 interceptor and I want a 5% royalty on the resale, that information is exposed to users who are purchasing it. So are you going to buy one where you're going to lose 5% automatically on the royalty, or are you going to buy one where someone's taking no royalty or less? I really see the royalty system coming into play in our horizontal crafting method. So horizontal crafting is where you take a T1 piece of equipment and you try different resources to add buffs or boosts to its ability. This is done through a 3x3 grid where you have to place resources in a specific combination. There's a chance that that combination will unlock a feature update. This will create like a T1A or T1B type of this item that has this boost. Those combinations are secret and only known to the person who discovers them. So it's up to them if they want to release it or if another user can randomly discover what that combination is. It's a mix of both position and quantity of resources. That's where I think you'll probably see the most effective use of the royalty system, because you'll be able to say, okay, I created a Reaper Interceptor that has a 20% buff to FTL speed. So it's called a Reaper Interceptor A1924. And A1924 is a unique variety of a Reaper Interceptor. There's only 3 or 4 of them out there, and I'm the only one making them. No one else has figured it out. Let me put a residual royalty on that. Whenever a user trades hands, I'm getting paid out in my GFC, ETH, or other currencies. So that probably is the best answer there for the royalty system. Let me get another question here.
Just so I know, so I can keep up. Who asked that question?
That was Dark Horizon Guild.
Okay.
So here's one from OC Discuss. He's concerned about the refining ratios, basically devaluing the time spent in MEA and the resources collected. Really simply put, refining ratios have not been set in stone yet. I feel with what we're currently thinking in terms of refining ratios, ignore the data you're seeing on the database when you're pulling it down. That is not accurate yet, or even the stuff we have published. There is still there's a major advantage to anyone in MEA, primarily when you see how scarce Trilite is truly going to be. Trilite was scarce in MEA. It will continue to be scarce in the game. It is going to be a resource that most users are going to be always looking for and have high value. Other resources, iron, gold, silver, might not have the same amount of value, and you might have a ton of it from MEA that's probably not going to be worth as much because it's a common resource in the universe. Just something to keep in mind there. Let's see here. There is a question from Resist Now. Resist Now is asking, refining bays on stations, how many are available to players? Is the Galactic Federation also retaining refining bays? Will refining bays in stations become live? First question, how many are available? It will vary between station. We don't have an exact quantity and exactly how many. every Galactic Federation station, pretty much every station, NPC station in the game will have a public refining bay. It's going to have the lowest base rates, so you're always better off using another player's or building your own. When will refining bays come live? Refining bays might not be part of 0.6 when refining comes live. It might just be Federation stations and private bays, so ones that you could build just for yourself. Building ones that other users could use can come on 6.1 or 6.2. Or it might come on 6. Right now, it's in flux as we're testing and finding issues. We're trying to pare down 6 to like a core feature release and then incrementally release updates from that point. So thanks for the question.
We have a couple follow-up questions in chat about royalties.
Ooh, we're at 80 people. Good lord. Can we break 100? That would be amazing, guys. Come on.
Dude, if we break 100, I will throw a giveaway in Discord for sure. For a ship.
Okay, now actually, if we break 100, we will give away one of these shirts.
Nice.
One of these Star Trek shirts, we'll do a random giveaway. We'll announce in Discord and just be a random draw if we break 100, guys. Okay, good.
Oh, so let me scroll back up. Markellily, I thought royalties meant if you are the first to discover it, anyone who discovers it after pays you royalties. And then Ryan follows up, so royalties are for anyone crafting items and not just the first person who discovers the recipe.
Correct. So we need to go back to the original blog post. I believe that is how it was written. Royalties are for, if you're the first person discovering an item and you craft that item, no one else is currently able to craft it. If you find the original blueprint, someone's going to have to buy it from you, deconstruct, and figure out how to do it. At some point, eventually, other people are going to be crafting it. Just like in real life, other people are going to reverse engineer technology. There's a period of time where you no longer have exclusive access to it, and then royalty rates will fluctuate. So yes, there is a first mover advantage for new technology discovered. It absolutely is. You want to find it first. But as time progresses, just like in real life, other people will figure it out as well.
Awesome.
Oh my God, we're at 21,000? Good Lord. Guys, thank you so much. Enforcer, that's amazing. Pigaz, whoa, I'm just sorry. I'm just looking here, and Coco, that's pretty awesome, guys. It's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm lost for words. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing support. Thank you. Let me go to another question here. We have one from Crypto Escher. Can we deconstruct SE ship packs and parts? Yes. Well, no. The answer is no. You cannot deconstruct them right now. Once deconstruction comes into play, yes, but you're not going to get much for them. So that's the easy answer there. Let's go to another question here. Oh, I have here from Captain Obvious. What happens when I log out from the game somewhere in space? Will my ship stay online, and can it be attacked? Will it disappear when I log off? If yes, how will the game prevent people from logging off in the middle of the fight? So this is a work in progress, how we're going to tackle this, and it's something we hope to address before we go into full NFT persistence. So when a user logs off, and they're not engaged in combat, the ship will dematerialize, like when you're docking, no one will see it. If you are engaged in combat, the ship will persist for some fixed amount of time and can be lost. We're going to come into very tricky and gray areas here where what if a user loses connection when they're in combat? What if this? What if that? These are issues that a lot of games have to deal with. And it's going to be big issues for us since a lot of your items are persistent and they have value, and when they're destroyed, it's going to be difficult to bring them back, or impossible to bring them back. So these are all questions we're looking to answer. Primarily in core space, you're probably going to be safe. We'll have to come up with some type of rule set for how we handle disconnects, at what point, maybe some type of cooldown period before the asset actually gets burned to take care of these gray area issues. A lot of this is being thought by our amazing design team right now, and we'll have more clarity on it as we get closer to persistent release. All right, so next on the list here, let's see. Oh, here's one from Trislet. Will the game utilize a separate specialized sidechain like Loom that will be able to address directly? Yes, actually, the game's already utilizing. We don't like to call it a sidechain because we feel the terminology might be wrong for what we're doing. Scarcity Engine is a virtual blockchain that sits on top of the Ethereum blockchain that manages all these assets in a very scalable way. It's going to have full public access for reads and writes, and we're even looking into ways as blockchain technology evolves, and there's new chain technologies out there that we could potentially mirror Scarcity Engine information onto it, and eventually maybe even run scarcity on some type of low-cost blockchain to provide this digital persistence. Early on, when we first conceptualized this game, we thought we could use Ethereum 100%. We quickly saw where this becomes problematic when you have high gas prices or the Ethereum network gets clogged. And Scarcity Engine is our solution today, and it's our solution that's going to evolve over time. And to be quite honest, it's probably one of the best solutions I've seen. Case in point, our first crate sale did over 10,000 items in 3 seconds. No way any chain right now could do that high level of DES. But that is possible in Scarcity Engine. Yes, it's virtualized and it's abstracted above the chain, but as technology improves, we will always be moving to make Scarcity Engine more transparent and eventually possibly even decentralized. But right now, it's a solid technical foundation that's allowing us to deliver high-quality blockchain games and removing a lot of the friction points of onboarding new users. Any other follow-up questions right now? I was looking at myself talk on the camera, and it seemed to be looking like this way, so I'm going to try to look this way now.
There you go, straight on now. Somebody did have a question about the average cost of insurance for ships. This is from Super Crypto Bros.
Okay. Well, yeah, average cost of insurance, honestly, completely up in the air right now. We are taking a look at a couple factors to determine this, primarily what the current play balance is going to be. People are losing ships quite a bit right now while we're in alpha, and when you're fighting NPCs, there's probably going to be a high likelihood you're going to lose your ships tackling them in core and possibly fringe space. So we're looking at some solutions, but in the end, the loss of your ship means the loss of resources in the game has to occur. This has to occur because without loss, we can't have a true economy. How loss is handled, how the GFI insures you, how there might possibly even be some type of fringe level insurance, maybe for the cost or resource cost of recrafting the item. All that's on consideration on table. We have no solid answers on that right now, but we'll let you know as soon as we do.
I have a question for the D-Live streamers. I'm going to be reaching out to a few of you guys. We'd like to get some of our animated stickers put up. I believe we need to be a partner on D-Live to do that. So if we could reach out to some of you to put these stickers into your channels so that then we could use them throughout all the other streams, that would be awesome. And look out for a DM from me soon.
Sounds great. We have a lot more questions here, and I wanted to go through them all, so let me see if I can. Where are refined resources and resources collected from deconstruction cap/store Dark Horizon? Very simply, it's going to be stored in your station inventory or your ship inventory. So just like the inventory system works now, we're going to be adding more filtering to it and potentially down the road some type of organization, containers or crates, just to help you better organize it. Guild inventories, clan inventories are definitely in the works. We actually, there was a question here about a public roadmap. I'm just going to jump into that because I want to talk about it. I think that was from Ryan JK. Yes, actually, we have a public, we have a Trello board that we're populating with our roadmap items. Right now we use Jira and Confluence, and unfortunately there's no way to make that directly public anymore. But we are setting one up on Trello, and we're going to mirror the public information with details of features and broken down into 4 categories of live, upcoming, in development, and future. And this should give you guys a lot more transparency, and we'll even enable comments if you want to answer questions. But this is going to be a great way for us to keep you, our Steam community, our gamer communities in general in the loop. I think it's safe to say CSC is a massive undertaking, and it's a game that has a lot of layers and details, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the progress we've made. just since last year from where the game was to where it is now. And we're not pulling the foot off the gas at all. If not, we're going faster and working harder. So we really look forward to delivering more to you. And I think this public roadmap is going to really help communicate to users where we're at, where we're going, and what's coming down the pipe. Okay, let's see here. What kind of royalty rewards will players receive from being the first to craft a previously undiscovered ship? So that's completely up to the user. So the user can determine and set that rate for that item. So if you discover an item and no one else has it and you craft it, you can set your royalty on that resale and the resale of that item. So if the Bitcoin Louis buys that from you and then he sells it to Cocoa Bear, out of that transaction, a percentage of that royalty will go to you in-game currency, soft currency, hard currency, Ethereum, whatever currency unit was used in the transaction. And I think we covered this in the last question here. Here's another one, again from Reset Now. Will BPs from ship modules be transferable to other players for use in crafting? All right, actually, this brings us to another question I saw here, so I'm just going to answer them both at the same time. Someone can find out which one that was. So the blueprint points that currently exist, you see on each ship inventory, on the ship items on the asset pages. Once enabled, those and probably enable around crafting, users will be able to claim the points off those items. So if you have a Reaper Interceptor and you want your 150 points, you could claim it. At that point, that item is marked that it has been redeemed and will no longer have those items for users to claim. You could then sell that ship, but it won't come with the BP points anymore. So this is an important factor here because basically BP points get applied to your user account. At this time, there won't be a way for users to transfer that, but we do have a backlog design item here for creating a system where you could craft an item that contains your BP knowledge of a select item. And then you could sell that item, trade that item, give that to another user to pass knowledge along. There's some mechanic balancing that we're working on that, primarily making sure that there's no way a user could exploit this or trying to stay away from anything that could give unfair advantage. There's always ways to exploit that we haven't thought about, so that's where our design team kind of really dives into these things. But it's coming down the line. Initially, users will have to take the ships and ships that have bonus BP points, will be in the in-game UI and claim them all, probably a claim all button as well. Oh, we're at 88, guys. 12 more. 12 more. We're almost there.
OC discussed, I don't know if we covered this just now, but he's like, he just wanted to verify if the BPs are tradable.
Not initially.
Okay.
So the BPs will apply to your user account and be just a user-specific statistic.
So there's some interesting news about one of our users, Trislite, who created his own Ethereum token to reward his guild members. And the token has even been submitted to OpenSea as an official token to be traded on their platform. That's cool.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
You know,
what we talked about in some early dev blogs, we actually showed a CryptoKitty in the CSC universe since it conforms to NFT format. This is something we haven't shied away from, something we're still very much going to consider and support with Scarcity Engine. Having custom tokens or custom logic or even custom blockchain logic that Scarcity Engine can interact with for the player base, meaning if a guild or a clan wants to create some type of trading contract and then they want players in CSE to be able to access that trading contract and perform some type of transaction on it, Scarcity Engine, our abstraction layer, can perform the transaction on behalf of a user. This is a little bit more complicated than I'm stating right now, but it is something in our roadmap because really we're a community-driven game. We're very much focused on helping our current guilds get all the tools they need to properly manage and expand. But blockchain's at our core. The ability to have distributed logic and having the ability to verify quantities and trades without a central authority really is at the heart of this game, the heart of the CSE lore and the future of the game. Technology is not completely there yet, but as it's getting there, we'll be integrating more and more of it in there. So just want to make sure that's clear. All right, let's see what else we got here. Ryan JK, will there be guild bank storage in game? Yes. So this is basically in game. Will you have guild storage or guild banks where you store items? Absolutely. This is probably going to be a late feature in the 1.0 cycle, so probably in 0.9 or even maybe 1.1. It's a little bit down the road, more advanced. There's some core game mechanics we definitely want to get in. Crafting, refining, marketplace. One of the features we haven't talked about in a while, but it's really core to our vision and design of the game, is the worker colonist system. The ability to hire workers, transfer colonists, and have them do work for you. While the early tech levels, Tech 1 and Tech 2, only require 100 BPs, 500 BPs, since it grows exponentially, when you're trying to get a Tech 6 or Tech 7, you're not going to want to manually deconstruct items. This is where our research station functionality, workers, and colonists really come into play to start having these things done autonomously for you. And there's a whole level of autonomous gaming that we discuss in one of our developer blogs. We'll bring it into the Trello board so make sure you guys have visibility on it. It's a very important factor. Not to the point where one person can completely dominate the game, but to the point where a small group of users can perform some sophisticated economic activity, create a full production line from resource harvesting to researching to producing items with little management. That's kind of like the essence of the goal here. Let's see here. Bitcoin Pro, I don't even know how to say this, PRO, and then a British flag. What rewards for pure space exploration? So space exploration is one of my favorite ones. And actually, it's going to be part of today's, this next coming event. So for those who remember some of our early streams, we demonstrated what the lights on your ship are actually useful for, exploration beams, to uncover hidden items. That is going to be in play this week. It's going to be in play for this event. Hidden items will exist. Right now we're working on how and where we're going to put these hidden items. These items will contain anything from loot crates to full in-game modules that you could use. So exploration is rewarded by finding unique positions in space. Maybe it's a anomaly that looks interesting, a gas nebula, a derelict ship. Once you find one of those items, you want to scan every inch and everything around it with your exploration beams, your lights. If you run your light over an object that's hidden, it'll decloak and you'll have a container that you can open, scan, and claim the rewards for it. Items from exploration will be seeded from time to time, but they're going to be rare. We're trying to come up with a good mechanical indicator, a game mechanical indicator for when an item exists or when you should bother looking at something, because blindly searching every asteroid belt with your light's going to be a little bit more tedious than we want the game to be. Not saying you shouldn't, because there might be something there, but I'm just saying there'll be some game indicator that, hey, there's something around you should be looking for.
I think we've shown an example of this.
93 users, almost there. More.
96 total. If we include the people fully in the chats of the Periscope as well.
Got it. I'm just counting.
I believe we have a developer blog where we showcased this, correct? Where you were flying around, you had the spotlight on an asteroid, and you had found a loot box, crate. And you opened it, and lo and behold, there was a little CryptoKitty inside.
Yeah,
I thought that was awesome.
It was an NFT in the game universe in a dead environment. Yeah, well, starting on Friday's event, some of these items will be hidden around, and users can find. We'll try to communicate where you should be looking, just so it's not a complete needle in the haystack.
That's awesome.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find. Okay, there's a question here from Ripstar. Will there ever be a way to upgrade your favorite ship, increase its modules, increase its base rate, increase particular equipment? Yes. So this is something we've talked about for a while, and this is part of the reason why our ships are NFTs instead of fungible tokens. Because if you think about it, technically every ship is identical. There's very little that distinguishes one ship from another other than this was the first in the series or the last in the series. Well, a big part of having these items as NFTs was, can we get to a point of hyper customization where you're not just looking for a Reaper Interceptor, but you're looking for Louis's Reaper Interceptor, because Louis added that amazing mod that makes it now glow purple.
Hell yeah.
So this is something definitely in our roadmap, and how we're going to deploy it. I mean, really, guys, we have features for years ahead of us. But I think within this year, we want to get to a solid 1.0 and just continue to grow the game. And I think we've built in a way where growing and adding features is becoming a lot easier every iteration cycle. So, but yes, customized individual ships is on our roadmap. There's one question here. I was just reading. Okay. Let's see here.
There's a few requests in chat. If we could circle around back to crafting.
Sure.
But we can circle back if you have any other questions you wanted to get done first.
No, go for it. Let's do the chat question.
Let me pull it up. So Ryan, so thank you, Retard Gamer. Sorry, I just had to read that name out. He posted a link to our refining, crafting, and primer expedition supply jobs. But Ryan would like to get just more discussions around crafting mastery and BPTs, and specifically how different TL BPTs work.
Oh, tech levels and BPTs were sure. Yeah. I think I saw a question there. I wanted to get into this. So. Yeah, there is a lot of questions, speculations. I mean, unfortunately, crafting and refining, we're making these systems complex because for the first time ever, you're not just creating a digital entry in a database, you're creating an NFT, a commodity that's valuable in the realm of the game, something that you can trade between users. So we feel like to get to that point, to create that chip, to create that module, needs to have some work and skill involved. So when it comes to crafting blueprints and tech levels, so T1 items will give you T1 blueprints if you deconstruct them. T1 blueprints will increase your blueprint points when you consume them for that item for that level. So if you have a Reaper Interceptor and you deconstruct it, you get your fixed amount of blueprint points for it. It'll improve your ability to make that item. Once you go above its mastery level, which for T1's 100, now you start getting a chance of making it T2 item or better. As you progress, you create a T2 item. Once you successfully create that T2 item, now you have the ability to start crafting T2 items at a really low level. You have a low amount of BP. Every successful craft gives you more T2 BPs, blueprint pieces that increase your knowledge, or blueprint points that increase your knowledge. And then you basically keep working that up till you get to 500 total points for mastery of tech level 2. At that point, you get tech level 3, so on and so forth. I think there might be a more specific question here, but that's the gist of it. I saw a question here I wanted to answer that was asking for details. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Do FF blueprints and T1 blueprints generally apply to T2 mastery? So if you accumulate more than 100 BPTs, T2, no. Yeah, so FF and T1 blueprints do not apply to T2 mastery. It's only T1 level. So you could go over 100, and you want to go over 100, because the higher you go, the more likely you are to start crafting a T2. So for example, if someone has 2,500 T1 blueprints for a Reaper Interceptor, that puts them at almost 100% chance, or no, they put them at 100% chance of crafting a T2 if they choose to do so. There'll be a toggle in the UI to let you choose if you want to do a T2 or T1. Once you craft that T2, then it's up to you to start deconstructing that to start accumulating your next set of T2 blueprints. You start at 0 again, but this time you got to go to 500. And then T3s, you start at 0 again, but this time you go to 2,500. And it increases 5-fold every time exponentially. So the higher the tech level, the more blueprint pieces converted into blueprint points you need to be able to craft a successful version of that. And this will help the game scale over time. We're not going to get to a point in a year where people have T100 items. It'll take some time as we get past T3, T4, T5 for users to create the next generation. Hope that answers the question. Lou, let me know if there's an issue or any more detail needed. There's a question here by Arsto80. If I deconstruct a T3 something, then try to craft it with a 0.2% success rate or something like that, but fail, is there a chance of getting a T1 item? Nope. It's basically you're going to get the tech level below it. Easy question there. Let's see here. Some of these questions I answered already. Oh yeah, here, this is a great one from Ethan02. Will there be an official API that can be used by third-party tools? Absolutely. 100% all information in CSC, quantities and resources will be available for users to parse by a third-party API access. So you'd be able to tell how many of a certain item exist, how much are resources in circulation, what quantities of items exist in the universe. The only thing we'll be hiding, mainly for gameplay purposes, is specific locations specific locations of user items. We want to have some level of exposure, like you know what solar system they're in, but you don't know the specific station. And this is just to help users not get trapped or ganked by a group of users. If you could just always go online, look up Acid ID 4500 and say, okay, this ship's owned by Louis, and I always want to make sure I jump on Louis whenever he undocks. You'd be able to fly to that system and camp outside the station and wait till Louis undocks. And we kind of want to avoid those types of situations in the game. But we do want users to know the spread of resources, where they're scarce and where they're available and where they're not available. And we'll play around with these numbers and what should be exposed for gameplay purposes, but for sure every item, both virtual, minted, non-minted, in any state will be available via third-party API access. We're very close to being able to expose all that data too. Anything else we got going on here? There's one from Doji Flip. Will vouchers replication have 1x insurance? Current design said no. Vouchers have no insurance. The voucher use case is one when the game launches, or now it's going to be more when the marketplace launches, vouchers will be enabled. Not marketplace, crafting. With crafting launch, vouchers will be enabled and users can replicate. Vouchers will help users, early adopter users, who bought it extremely early in the game will be able to choose any ship they'd like and be able to instantly create it, and they'll have an MP version of that ship ready. This voucher system also applies for new ships that haven't been discovered. So if someone discovers a new ship, which we do have plenty of new ships in slate and queued, they're coming up, non-specialty ships obviously, but someone discovers a new ship, they'll have some limited period of time where they're the only ones that could craft it and distribute it. Once that period of time ends, anyone with a voucher will be able to create it for themselves as well. This is one to protect the user who invested the time to find a new ship and an item, give them an ability to get to market first, but after that, voucher users will be able to synthesize and replicate one of these ships. There's not a lot of vouchers out there. We're not making any more vouchers. I think initially when the game launches, a lot of them will be burnt for initial ships. So we're probably looking at maybe a couple hundred that will persist. There's actually a bunch of vouchers that we currently hold in one of our wallets. A user who exploited our referral system was kind enough to return all the ones he got, which was several hundred of them. So those will eventually be burnt and we can take out of circulation too.
Well, that was very kind of him.
Yeah. We prefer him tell us and not just exploit it, but here's what it is. Let's see here. Will there be able to see... Yeah, so here's a question from Ryan JK. Will I be able to see the TLs on the in-game marketplace, whether they are for sale or not? Yes, so I think he means that you'll be able to see the total quantity of all ships, regardless, ships, materials, objects, regardless if they're on sale or not. So you'll be able to know what its rarity is. So you will know that 1,500 Grims might exist in the universe, but only 5 are being sold. I hope that answers your question, but if not, I see you in there. Just let me know. OC discuss, do you foresee stacking restrictions or penalties so that multiple of the same items, such as Hush Ion Booster, for example, have a stacking negative effect? Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot of modules out there. We have a design team working diligently on balancing and correcting a lot of the attributes and stats on there. And one thing we're looking to heavily is stacking debuff. We designed the modules in the way where we knew that users would and need to stack certain items like shield modules, but overstacking, but that system makes it inherently difficult to balance. Adding a stacking debuff after a certain point is definitely going to help us with that. Alrighty, let's see what else we got here. If you deconstruct a T3 item, you get a T3 blueprint, not a T1 blueprint. This was another from OC Discuss. Oh, here's one from Dark Horizon Guild. Liquids, vegetation, gas. How are these resources refined and processed? What equipment? So they are mined, very similar to ore, just you use special mining beam lasers. They're refined and processed in the same refinery and processing plants that you run ore in. There are specific equipment already available for cloud harvesting, ice harvesting. Standard mining beam works for ice. For cloud harvesting, you need a cloud harvester. And it'll be more apparent and more clear why the use cases of these resources both deploy refining and crafting into the game. Alrighty. I think that's most of the questions here. Is there any questions that I didn't answer that someone asked? I'm looking here and a lot of these seem like repeats. Oh, yeah, actually, here's one. Another one from Dark Horizon. How many items can a player deconstruct at a time? Will it require a crafting station? Approximately how long will deconstruction take? So we're taking the approach with deconstruction as it's instant. So you'll be able to right-click an item, hit deconstruct. It should instantly happen, and you'll collect the resources. There is a deconstruction over time option. This is done at a research station that yields you more blueprints, blueprint points, more knowledge, but it'll take a period of time, and it will take a research slot. We'll have to get in on a longer discussion when we talk about the research station mechanic itself. All right. Any other questions? We're at 90 users right now. This is absolutely incredible. Again, thank you, everyone. I cannot believe the amount of support we're getting on the stream, the game in general. Louis, anything else? Any other questions I'm missing here?
No, just an observation. We technically broke 100 if we include the Periscope viewers.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll call that a win. So
Yes.
Congratulations, everyone. We'll figure out how we'll distribute one of these shirts to one of you. Will probably be someone that was on the stream. We'll look through the chats. We'll do some type of draft. I'll leave this to Louis. Look, I just gave you extra work. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Anything else question-wise? I'm just going to take a look at the chat here for a second.
Sure, yeah. I guess a question for the viewers and specifically our Discord users. Do you guys enjoy the giveaway bot that we're using? I personally feel like it's one of the most fairest methods that we've used. So in the past we had the LS bot for point redemptions, but I personally feel that our LS points being used as tiers basically, so is allowing a more fair distribution. So we have a giveaway for the chance, everyone has a chance, but then the amount of points you have is basically giving you a tiered prize. So if you guys like that, I'd like to continue that method, or just DM me other suggestions, other Discord bots that have a high reputation, and I'll look into them as well.
Okay. So quick question here from Crypto Block Dan. Could you give us some details on SC ships? Yeah, actually, they'll be live on the site later today, so you'll be able to pull directly from the article, and we'll message you what the asset ID numbers are so you can look them up on the website right away. So you should be able to use that for the article you're writing. Thank you, by the way. You've been writing some amazing articles, not just about our game, but a lot of blockchain games in general. I know the entire blockchain gaming community appreciates the work all of you guys are putting in. And another shout out actually to Ryan JK. He started an amazing site, the CSC Verse. It's a unofficial fan information repository that's really well done. A lot of information, a lot of details. So I'm just going to shout out. Definitely take a look. Anyone else have sites or information you want us to take a look? We're happy to promote and happy to give you additional information to support those. Will a mobile version implant? So yeah, actually we had a mobile version on an early stream. I showed it running on my iPad I'm looking at right now at CSE. The game is ballooned from that point. A mobile version is probably far down the road at this point. We're really focused. We're a small team, Mac, PC, get that working, get that right, get to a 1.0, and then we'll look at mobile as a deployment strategy. Any other questions? Okay, well, if any other questions come up, like I said, we're going to do this twice, hopefully twice a month at least, if not at least once a month. So we'll get there. Again, amazing support, and Coco Bear's just flooding it with diamonds again. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Coco.
Yeah, by the way, one of our biggest supporters, big shout out to Coco Bear. You believed in our game at an early point where we had a 2D image of a space station on the website. And you messaged us, you talked to our dev team, you talked to us, and you ended up buying that for $52,000, $57,000. I can't even remember at this point. But it was an incredible amount, a huge supporter for our game. So again, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. I mean, I am absolutely amazed at how much support, both from in terms of gameplay and monetary support, buying our items and supporting this game you've all given us. So, special treat at the end of the stream, I want to give you a little bit more Star Trek detail. So we have a blog post and an article and several other things coming out soon. But for you guys here on the stream today, you're going to get to see officially the 6 ships that we have coming to the game. So Louis, when you're ready, go ahead and put them on the screen, but I'll go in them. They might not be in the same order as he shows them because I'm on a delay here, but
we're switching over right now.
Great. So I'm going to wait till it comes up, but we will be, you will be able to fly and potentially own the original series from the television show Enterprise, the Enterprise D from Next Generation, the Defiant from Deep Space Nine, Voyager from Star Trek Voyager, a Bird of Prey, this is going to be from the Deep Space Nine series, and a Runabout, it's going to be the smallest ship, a shuttle, from the Deep Space Nine series as well. These ships will be fully playable, and actually it's kind of kicking off a whole new concept in gaming that didn't exist before blockchain. These games are from a completely separate universe from CSC, and the awesome people at CBS Interactive saw the CSC game, loved the idea, loved the vision, and it's letting us bring Star Trek to the blockchain for the first time, letting us bring it into a universe that's parallel to the Star Trek universe. You will be able to fly these ships. They will work just like any other ships in the game. They will be extremely limited in supply and limited in quantity, and we will be auctioning the first of each of these ships off. And the first Enterprise that we sell, which will be original series, will have the CSC blockchain ID number 1701. So 1701 will be the first blockchain Star Trek item ever sold. This is, I like to make the comparison. This is like the initial release of Star Trek toys in the 60s and 70s. First generation, first is never going to happen again, and that will be number 1. We're absolutely excited about this. These ships will be probably mid-level compared to what we have, so they're not going to be the best ships you could fly in the game, but they will each have some special features, cloaking devices for the Klingon and the Defiant, for the Bird of Prey and the Defiant. The Star Trek Voyager will have one of my favorite features, a blade of hull armor. similar to as it did in the series. The art team even did add the curve up animation on the nacelles when it jumps into slipstream or FTL. And a bunch of other details we'll announce on this, more specifics, quantities. This will be happening within the next 2 months. We'll give exact dates as we come closer, and you'll see more details in the blog. But for you guys in the streams here, I just want to give you an early look of something absolutely exciting, something me personally can't believe I get to be involved in. I will be speaking at the Star Trek convention at the end of the month or start of next month in August. We'll be talking about CSC. I'll be on a panel with other Star Trek games. I'll be doing a full panel on, first there was Bitcoin, then Ethereum, now Gold Press Platinum, an article I'm writing for StarTrek.com. And it goes into digital ownership, digital items, and how digital items today are now becoming akin to toys of before. Just like a toy that you would buy and play in the sandbox, you can now buy a collectible Starship Enterprise, play with it in the CSC sandbox, or hold it up and keep it as a collectible asset. So lots of exciting stuff coming there down the pipe. We have been absolutely busy and slammed with getting ready for all this, but I hope you guys are looking forward to it. And that was basically it. Lou, you could take those images off, and we could wrap this up. Any questions?
Oh yeah, there's a few questions. Lots of hype though, lots of excitement. Love the bit of pay.
Bird of Prey. Yes. The Bird of Prey looks phenomenal in the game. Can't wait to show you guys that. I will say one of my favorite ships to fly around with is the Defiant. Just because big fan of DS9 and just such a nimble ship, even though it's small for its size compared to the rest of them.
Crypto Block Dan asks, can you confirm the size of them? An example is Defiant a Corsair and is Enterprise D a Prometheus?
Enterprise D is the only Prometheus. Voyager, Enterprise A, or not Enterprise A, the original series Enterprise, and the Defiant are all Corsairs. Not the Defiant. Those are Corsairs. The Defiant and Bird of Prey are Intrepid size. But I will say for the sizing, they're all a little bit larger than what you'd normally see in terms of CSC sizing. So while the Defiant is an Intrepid, it's on the larger side, more similar to the CCB Cruiser.
That's cool.
We had to work with CBS on the sizing. There's a lot of accuracy we had to stick to. Module-wise, they kind of fall mid-level, both in terms of boosts, perks, performance. They're fun to fly around with, but you're still better off with a Dominator if you're going into battle. Wouldn't take the Enterprise into battle in fringe space. Just saying that. I will say, though, the auction ships, the first of each, will have First Fleet insurance on it, so they're free to fly anywhere. The rest of these items, sticking to the rules of the game, keep them in core space or potentially lose them.
Oh, that's big news. Yeah, that was the second follow-up question. Are they First Fleets? So, like you said, the auction...
Only the first 6 are First Fleet.
Awesome. Yeah, chat's hype right now.
I see that. Good. Well, that's awesome. Well, that's basically it for today. Any other questions? I'll just take a look at chat for a second here. It's really weird to look at the chat and see myself looking down.
Better stock up.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks, guys. This has been awesome. I'm going to stay in the chat and just, if there's any questions that come up, I'll answer via text. This has been amazing. Awesome for our first D-Live stream. Amazing that we got on the front page and got this coverage. I don't know where we got 22,000 Lino coins from, but we will be doling that out to other streamers. Just let us know when you're streaming. Come promote in our chats. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to leave this with live long and prosper.
Awesome. Take care, guys. See you next time.